In this lecture, I am going to explain you how to do ledger posting, then balancing of accounts, and then preparation of trial balance. The process of accounting is basically, first of all, we have to record all the financial transactions, and then those transactions should be classified and then summarized. This is the last stage. And after that, of course, we do the interpretation of the balance sheet and P&L which we make. Okay. This recording of transactions is done in journal and classification is done in ledger. Today we are talking about ledger posting and balancing, which is done in ledger. Now, what is a ledger? Ledger is a book wherein we have all the accounts pertaining to persons, that is personal accounts, real accounts, nominal accounts. All accounts are contained in this book. Okay. So from journal, all the entries are posted to ledger. This ledger contains accounts of, say, cash account, bank account, building, machinery, salaries, wages, and so on. All the accounts. So now today I am going to explain you the process, how we go about doing it. Let me first of all tell you about the posting in the ledger. First of all, you must know the format of the ledger. For example, if this is an account, it has two sides. This side is called debit side and this side is called credit side. And the columns are, first column here is date. Okay. Then particulars. After this, journal folio. Journal folio is the page number of the journal from where the entry is being posted to the account. This is amount in, say, rupees or dollars, whatever you like. Again, for the credit side, same items, date, particulars, journal folio, and then you have amount. This is the format of ledger in which all the accounts are kept. This could be of anything. For example, if it is a cash account, I'll just tell you how the posting will be done in this account. If our journal entry is cash account debited to capital account, say 50,000. Now this means what? It means that cash account should be debited with 50,000 and this is cash account. Here we will put the date. For example, if the date is 1/4/11, so date will be put here 1/4/11. And now this cash account is being debited and the corresponding account is capital account. So we will write here to capital account. For example, if this entry is on page number 1 of journal, so this 1 will be written here and amount is 50,000, it will come on this side. Similarly, for the capital account, the journal entry will be posted like this. This is the, you see, now I am not writing all these details because you have understood it. For capital account or for other accounts, I will be just making the T account. Okay. Now, capital account is being credited by 50,000 and the corresponding account is cash account, and we write here like this: by cash account 50,000. And these to and by, they don't have any significance as such, but we have been doing it, and nowadays people don't do it also, and if you don't write by and to here, it won't affect you. Okay, you can keep it or leave it, no problems. So this is the way entries are posted. Now let us take the other journal entries. For example, if we buy goods on cash, say for 20,000, our entry will be purchase account debited to cash, say 25,000. In this case again, purchase account will be debited and cash account will be credited. If this is our purchase account, now purchasing being debited, so we'll write to cash 25,000. Cash account is being credited, hence cash account will be credited. And what is the corresponding account? Purchase account, by purchase account. Amount is 25,000. Okay. Now our third entry is bank account debited to cash. That means we deposit the cash in bank. So bank account debited to cash, say 15,000. Now in this case, bank account is being debited and cash account is being credited. So let us debit the bank account. Now if this is our bank account, this is being debited and the corresponding account which is being credited is cash. So we write to cash 15,000. And again cash account is being credited, hence we'll write here by bank account 15,000. Okay. Our next entry is we buy furniture through check, that is through bank, for say 10,000. So what will be our entry for that? Furniture account debited to bank 10,000. Now you see, in this case, furniture account is being debited and bank account is being credited. So we will open furniture account here. Furniture account. This is being debited and the corresponding account is bank. To bank 10,000. Okay. And we are crediting bank account. So bank account will be credited and corresponding account is furniture account. So by furniture account 10,000. I hope it's quite clear. And let me take another journal entry. If we sell goods for cash, our entry will be cash account debited to sales. Let us take it. Cash account debited to sales, say 28,000. Again cash account is being debited and sales account is being credited. So here it will be to sales account. How much? 28,000. And sales account is being credited by 28,000. Hence, we will open sales account here. Sales account. Now, sales account is being credited and the corresponding account which is being debited is cash. So, we will write by cash account 28,000. Our next entry is if we sell goods on credit to say Suresh. We sell him goods on credit, so our entry will be Suresh account debited to sales. Suresh account debited to sales account. Say 12,000. In this case, Suresh account is being debited by 12,000. So we need to open another account, that is Suresh account. So Suresh account will be debited to sales 12,000. And sales account is being credited by 12,000. Right? So sales account will be credited. And what will be written there? Suresh account, because that is the account which is being debited. So by Suresh account 12,000. Okay, so you have understood how things move in this manner. Okay, for example, if we pay salaries through check, our entry will be salary account debited to bank. Salary account debited to bank, say 2,000 rupees. So we will need to open another account, that is salary account, and bank account will be credited. So salary account, it will be debited to bank 2,000, and bank account will be credited by 2,000 by what? Salary 2,000. Okay, if all these are the entries which have been made, say for a month, then after 1 month you need to check whether you have done everything correctly or not. For that you need to make trial balance, and prior to that you do balancing. And let me tell you very clearly, balancing is always done in case of those accounts where both debit and credit sides are used. Okay, and if you look at it, mostly personal accounts and real accounts have both sides, because for example, if we buy machinery is debited, and if we sell machinery, it is credited. Similarly, our debtors and creditors both have which sides? Debit side as well as amounts on the credit side. Hence, real accounts and personal accounts are balanced. Now, for example, this sales account, this is salary account. This is an expense account. Whenever we pay salary, it will be go on debiting. Okay. So hardly any credit is going to come there. So these accounts basically are not balanced. That means nominal accounts are not balanced. But sometimes they are also. But that is an exception. For example, if we paid salary to this person 2,000 wrongly, and later on think that we paid him more, and we recover 500 from the person whom we had given this salary, so our entry will be what at that time? Cash account debited to salary. So in that case, salary account will be credited by 500. Naturally, then we will balance this account as well. But as a matter of principle, in normal circumstances, real accounts and personal accounts both are balanced, and nominal accounts are not normally balanced. Now let us see how balancing is done. In case of balancing, we total the bigger side first. Now in this case, the total is 78,000 of debit side, and credit side's total is 40,000. If we subtract from 78,000 40,000, balance is 38,000. So we write it like this: by balance carried down 40,000, and we write 78,000 here. We put the double line here. Okay. Now in case of capital account, now this is a liability account as far as the business is concerned. Okay. So these accounts are not, they can be, if by chance if there was any debit, we would have balanced it. But now again this balance will be carried forward. And in case of purchase account, now these accounts are basically transferred to your trading account. Okay. These are not carried forward to the next year. But these accounts like capital account, our real accounts, all these accounts are, because the capital account, this being a personal account, will be carried forward to next year. Cash account will be carried forward to the next year. Bank account will be carried forward to the next year. Furniture account will be carried forward. These being the real accounts. Real and personal accounts will be carried forward, and if there are two sides, we'll balance them. Okay. But all those accounts which are of nominal nature, like salary account, sales account, purchase account, they are normally close to our trading account or profit and loss account. All real accounts and personal accounts are shown in the balance sheet. So this is the way balancing is done. And in the next year or in the next month, for example, this will be brought forward to balance brought forward. That is 38,000. Let me make one clarification. If this was monthly totaling or monthly balancing, then same books will be used and this amount will be carried forward in the same account. But if this was for the whole year, then of course we will have to open New Year's books, and these amounts will be carried forward in the accounts of New Year's books, that is next accounting year's books. Okay, for that we use opening journal entries. About those I will discuss in my next lecture, but it is suffice to understand that if it is for monthly or quarterly, then these are carried forward in the same account, but otherwise they are carried forward in the next year's or next accounting period, and for that we use opening journal entries. Let us now prepare trial balance. Okay. Now what is trial balance? Trial balance is basically a list of accounts, list of all those accounts which are in our ledger. All those accounts which have debit balance are put on one side of the trial balance, and all those balances which have credit balance are put on the other side. And if we have not committed any arithmetical mistake, then total of both sides of the trial balance should tally. Okay, it's quite obvious because every journal entry has two aspects and each account is debited with the same amount and the other account is also credited with the same amount. Hence, if we take in totality, the debit balances in our ledger and credit balance in our ledger should be equal. And if we have committed an arithmetical mistake, then this trial balance will not tally. Let us, from this information, let us make the trial balance. And you must understand that trial balance is always on a particular date. Trial balance as on, we had started on 1/4/31, so we can say 30th April if it is for 1 month. Now let us see what is the balance of cash. It is 38,000. Now it is which balance? It is a debit balance because debit side was bigger, and that's why to balance the other side we had written here and carried forward again to the debit side. So it's a debit balance. and here it will be cash account 38,000. Now what about capital account? It has 50,000 to its credit. So to balance carried forward 50,000. Now it is a credit balance. Capital account 50,000. And what about purchase account? It is a debit balance. Okay, so 25,000 will be put here. Purchase account debit is 25,000. And here we have sales account. Its total is 40,000. It's a credit balance. So sales account 40,000. Now bank account. Let us balance it. Bigger side is debit side 15,000 and total of this credit side is 12,000. So balance is 3,000. So by balance carried forward 3,000. Okay, so balance will be brought forward here. To balance brought forward 3,000. So basically, it is a debit balance because this side was bigger, and to balance the credit side we had written 3,000 here. So bank account 3,000. And let us see furniture account. It is 10,000 only. So balance will be carried forward. $10,000. It's again a debit balance. And Suresh account. Suresh account, again it is a debit balance. Its balance will be carried forward. By balance carried forward 12,000. It will be brought forward again in the next accounting period. So Suresh account is a debit balance. He is our debtor. Now salary account. It's a nominal account. It is 2,000. Again a debit balance. Salary account 2,000. If we have not committed any mistake, then the total of both sides should tally. This is 90,000 and this is again 90,000. That means this trial balance is tallying. The indication is that at least we have not committed any error of omission. It means arithmetically our books are correct. But tallying of trial balance does not mean that there could not be other mistakes. For example, the mistakes of principal could be there. For example, we bought a machinery and debited it to purchase account. Now it is an error of principal, but tallying of trial balance will not tell us about this. In my next lecture, I will talk about the errors which are normally committed and because of which trial balance does not tally. How to correct them will be explained in my next lecture, and I hope you found it very interesting and you are very clear about what I have done about all these entries about ledger posting, balancing and trial balance. Okay, thank you so much.